Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. For today's video, we are going to see what if the Cleveland Cavaliers draft Trae Young with their Brooklyn Nets draft pick in the upcoming 2018 NBA draft. LeBron James was asked about Trae Young and about him entering the NBA draft, and he was just like, he better go pro. So LeBron James says that Trae Young is ready. So if LeBron James says that, that means you are definitely ready to join the NBA. And I just feel like this would be a really nice fit for the Cleveland Cavaliers in general. I mean, there's two different directions that this could really go, because I feel like LeBron James early on says that he's not returning to the Cavaliers. Then maybe you don't go after Trae Young. Maybe you go for a guy like a Michael Porter Jr., to kind of replace him as the small forward of the future. Although I do think that Trae Young has that superstar potential. It's really a player that even though LeBron James does leave, he's still going to help them win some games, because Rodney Hood could also play small forward for this team if needed. He's only 26. But we are focusing on Trae Young for today's video, guys. So he is averaging a nice 30 points per game. That's better than nice. That's fantastic. 9 assists, shooting 38% from 3 on like 11 attempts per game. So this dude definitely launches up some shots. And this is kind of the team that I kind of envision for the Cavaliers, assuming it's were to happen. I really am a believer that DeAndre Jordan is going to be signing with the Cavaliers this offseason. I just feel like it's such a good fit. Maybe some sort of sign and trade with the Clippers that allows them to maybe get like Tristan Thompson, the Cavaliers draft pick, or something like that. So I am thinking Trae Young at point guard, Rodney Hood as shooting guard, LeBron James as small forward, Kevin Love at the 4, and DeAndre Jordan at the 5 spot. Then you got Jordan Clarkson to be a 6-man off the bench with Larry Nance Jr. and also George Hill. Still have Kyle Korver on this team, and maybe like a guy like a Thomas Robinson or a Ante Zizic just to be like your backup center at times. So yeah, we are going to simulate this season, talk a little bit more about this, kind of like what I expect from Trae Young going into the NBA season, just because like this dude has so much hype behind him. I really think he does. So let's get going on the simulation right here and talk a bit about it. So why exactly do I like Trae Young? Well, he's doing even better in college than Stephen Curry did on Davidson. So of course, when Stephen Curry was drafted, a lot of people thought that he was simply just too weak. Like they thought he just was not going to make a lot of noise in the NBA. They thought he was too small and everything like that. And it turns out that people were completely wrong about this guy, as he is like the best three-point shooter in NBA history. So with Trae Young, it's like you see some of those concerns with him that a lot of people saw with Stephen Curry, but I feel like a lot of us are running those off now, because we're just like, yo, Stephen Curry proved wrong, proved the NBA wrong. Why can't Trae Young do the same thing, right? So I don't know, like I expect him to at least be a great scorer in the NBA. I mean, I really do see him as like a 20-point per game scorer. I feel like early on, like his rookie season, he could definitely average around 15 to 16 points per game. The only thing that does make me nervous about him is I feel like he could potentially be a chucker with a dude that just launches up a ton of jump shots a game, a lot of like unorthodox shots, a lot of shots that he probably has no business shooting in the NBA. He's already proven that he can shoot from the from the NBA three-point line, because he does that a lot in college, where he launches from that Jimmer range out there. So yeah, if you are a Cleveland Cavalier fan, do you feel like Trae Young is a good fit for the Cavaliers team? I feel like if LeBron James does stay on the Cavaliers, he is going to have a lot of say in like who this team ends up drafting, and I could definitely see him wanting to play Trae Young just to like replace that kind of that hole that Kyrie Irving left when they traded him for Isaiah Thomas, and of course Isaiah Thomas is gone. I feel like Jordan Clarkson would also be okay with being the 6th man, because a lot of people probably envision Jordan Clarkson as like the future starting point guard of the Cavaliers, but he's proven to be really well used off the bench anyway. So yeah, you bring in Trae Young, you're like, hey dude, come be on this team to be probably for the first season, more of a spot-up type of shooter for the Cleveland Cavaliers, as LeBron James handles the basketball the majority of the time. So yeah, I'm definitely cool with this. And then of course you still have Kevin Love out there to the space the floor, do his thing. I don't really see a big reason to trade Kevin Love unless the Cavaliers get like a really good trade for him, but Kevin Love is still putting up good numbers for the Cavaliers this season, so it just doesn't really make much sense to do that. Then you get DeAndre Jordan, who doesn't really need the ball at all. It's like, yeah, he's gonna dunk the basketball and catch some alley-oops and stuff like that, but that's about it. So there would definitely be a lot of shots freed up. Rodney Hood, I think, as 6'8", would be able to start at the shooting guard position, because Trae Young is only 6'2", which is like an okay height. Maybe if he was like 6'3", 6'4", that'd be a little better in this era of the NBA. But yeah, Rodney Hood being 6'8" at shooting guard, could work on his defense over the summer, and that would kind of help like mitigate the shortness of Trae Young, which is not even that short, like 6'2", that's fine. I mean, Kemba Walker's like 6'1", he gets buckets like crazy. So yeah, and then of course you still have guys like Larry Nance on the team that are more like athletic based. It just seems like just seems like a nice fit to me, guys. It really does. Of course, they could go for like a DeAndre Ayton, but I don't think it's going to be like the top #1 pick in the draft because the Brooklyn Nets are not doing as bad as we all thought. Looking at the team record, though, 16-21, first place in the Eastern Conference. So I'm really curious what type of numbers Trae Young actually put up on this team. We got the Bucks #2 with Giannis really taking a step forward. Raptors, 76ers, Celtics yet again not getting respect on 2K. Is what it is. Then we got the Magic making the playoffs, surprisingly, followed by the Pistons, and the Wizards also not really getting much respect, as I see them like a top 4 team at least. Going into next season with a healthy John Wall in that team there, depending on who they get. I mean, I do think they need a replacement at center. We have Russell Westbrook getting MVP on the OKC Thunder. Marvin Bagley getting Rookie of the Year. I'd love to see Marvin on this team too. It's just like, Marvin Bagley, he is more of a natural power forward. That's kind of how I envision him in the NBA. And, I mean, like, if you go into, like, total rebuild mode next season, LeBron James leaves, then, yeah, maybe you do trade away Kevin Love and you draft a guy like Marvin Bagley, assuming you have that type of draft pick, and that's who you build your franchise around. Only thing that makes me nervous about him is that it comes down to management. And, like, the Pelicans have the best power forward in the NBA in Anthony Davis. And what have they really done? I just think the NBA is more of a guard-oriented league now, so you want to go for those big-time guards or even a small forward because, the best players are small forwards, too. You got Giannis, Kevin Durant, LeBron James. Here's the rest of the stats here. We do got LeBron James, All-NBA first team, of course. All-NBA second, looking like that. And actually, the rookie Marvin Bagley didn't make All-NBA third. So, who knows what that man can do. Trae Young, All-Rookie first team at 81 overall now. Really improved on the season. Let's check out these players' stats out here. And we have LeBron James, 25 points, 9 rebounds, about 10 assists per game. So, near a triple-double. What am I doing, man? Trae Young, in his first NBA season, 20 points per game and 7 assists. Those are all-star numbers. Those are like the numbers that Kemba Walker are putting up right now on the Charlotte Hornets, and he is an all-star. So, yeah, at the age of 20, that is fantastic. 2.8 turnovers. That's not that bad for a rookie point guard. Like, that's actually pretty dang good. Take about 15 shots a game. I feel like that's about right. Like, any more than that would probably be a little bit too much, especially on a team like this that has a lot of good offensive options. Shot 48% total field goal percentage. He shot 45% from 3. And I'm going to say, like, if Trae Young is the main guy in the NBA, then I do think he could potentially struggle with his 3-point shot just because, like, NBA teams are going to be focused on that. But when you have a team like this that can spread out the floor, you have LeBron James, so you need a double or a triple team at times, Trae Young is going to be wide open. So he just has to have that confidence going and just knock down the jump shots. Played 34 minutes per game. Actually did a really good job at not fouling. Only 1 to 2 fouls a game. So being 6'2" did not really affect that. Here's some more stats. I'm just really curious, man, what kind of stuff he has going on here. He had the second best plus-minus of the team at 8.2. Dropped 1,600, almost 1,700 points. Rebounds, he's not going to grab a lot of rebounds. I mean, even in college right now, he's averaging, he's getting about 4 rebounds a game. So that's actually pretty decent for a point guard at least. Got the assists, the steals out there playing that defense. Actually led the team in steals. Also led the team in turnovers. That does make sense, being the starting point guard and also being a rookie. So can't really hit on too much for that. He did shoot more than Kevin Love, so I don't know how I feel about that. Like, do you feel like Trae Young should be the second option or the third? I feel like as a rookie, probably the third option. Totally, like, he, like, tripled everybody else in the amount of threes he shot. So, yeah, I mean, this dude's going to be shooting some three-pointers in the NBA. It's just kind of how he is out there. Got 11 double-doubles. So, yeah, I mean, I don't see him getting, like, 10 assists per game, especially playing with LeBron James. Like, maybe in the future, if he was the man of the team, then sure, why not? All right, we do have playoffs. See how they perform out here. Washington Wizards, first round, simulate current round. And, all right, well, they swept them 4-0. Closeout game looking like this. Bradley Beal at 28 points. What's this team got? They still got Bradley Beal, John Wall. They still got Otto Porter. They got Marcin Gortat, I guess. But it's like, I don't know how this team is only 8 seed. So LeBron James, 31 points, 17 rebounds, and 6 assists. With Trae Young dropping 27 points and 8 rebounds in that closeout game. They won by 3 points, 106-103. And also 6 three-pointers on there. Ronnie Hood as the starting shooting guard dropped 17 points that game. I'm actually curious. I didn't really see, like, how he did, in the regular season. So he got, 14 points, about 2 rebounds, 3 assists. That's fine, assuming he plays defense. That's not bad numbers. DeAndre Jordan at 9 points and 12 rebounds and 2 blocks a game. Good for him. All right, 76ers. Be a very dangerous team next season. They actually beat the Boston Celtics in the first round, which is not, I don't think, what happened. But here we go, simulate current round, and beat them 4-1. We got Trae Young dropping 28 points. We got Clarkson with 24, 22, and 11 for Kevin Love, and a triple-double for LeBron James, filling up the basket. Carmelo Anthony actually went to the 76ers in this rebuild, or this simulation, I should say, which would be a very interesting pickup. I don't know if that would actually happen or not. All right, here we go. Number 1, Cavaliers. Number 2, Milwaukee Bucks. Curious who's on this Bucks team. Still have Giannis, Brogdon. Looks like Greg Monroe actually re-signed with them. Chris Middleton, Jabari Parker, Eric Bledsoe. Okay, Thon Maker. Similar current round here, and all right, got them 4 games to close out game. Trae Young, 26 points and 9 assists. Already a crazy difference maker. Like, he is playing like the best player on the team. Like, of course, LeBron James is going to get MVP if we beat the Rockets here, but Trae Young not far behind him. All right, simulate current round, and oh my God. Okay, so we got the Houston Rockets still winning in 7 games. James Harden get that Finals MVP. I mean, damn, that's gotta be so devastating. Like, to get to the NBA Finals and lose in a 7-game series. Like, I don't know, man. I would not forget about that for like the rest of my life. I mean, just to be that close and then to lose. But regardless, the team still played great. I mean, and not to mention, really the aspect of this team is like, yes, Kevin Love and DeAndre Jordan are a little bit older, but besides for that, you still have like the team that you can kind of go into rebuild mode with if needed. Because Trae Young, he's only 20. Rodney Hood, 26. Jordan Clarkson, 27. So yeah, I mean, they still got some young pieces out there. This is the playoff stats. No, let's go to that playoff stats. Here we go. So yeah, the playoffs, Trae Young played like a superstar, 22 points and 7 assists out there. LeBron James did his thing, but at the end of the day, it was not enough to beat the Houston Rockets, although I definitely think the team could in real life. So let me know in the comment section below, guys. What team do you think should draft Trae Young? What team do you think could really utilize his talents the most? I love the idea of the Cavaliers, that Brooklyn Nets draft pick, assuming they keep the draft pick and don't trade it away. I like the idea of him going potentially to the Phoenix Suns to team up with Devin Booker in the backcourt. Just a lot of good options for a player that I really do think is a future superstar in the NBA.